Hello everybody, how are you all doing today? I hope you're all doing safe and sound. And this is Ramya, and I'll be your host for this evening. And we are dealing with the topic debate, and we have been doing debate vertical for some time now. So today we are actually looking at debate in the lens of how debate helps us to have a balance between the left and the right brain, right? So left and the right brain, what they deal with, and how debate helps us to have a balanced approach of using left and right brain, right? So yes, with that, a very warm welcome to all of you who is watching us live, and I extend a very warm welcome on behalf of PSTV. So welcome, guys, and let's learn together. Okay, let's see how the day looks like. The session is lined up for us. Like we have a quote for the day, like as usual, a beautiful quote we start with, and we get a lot of energy within from that, right? So there is there is kickstarting of the day that happens with a beautiful quote, and then we have trivia hour. Then we move on to the topic of the day. As I said, we are dealing with balance between the left and the right brain, right? So, how debate helps us to have a balance between the use of left brain and right brain. We'll look at what left brain deals with and what right brain deals with, and how debate is related to that, and how you're getting a balance between these two brains, right? A working of these two sides of the brain. Okay, so then we have this or that. Definitely, we need to take a break, relax our brain, right, so that we can actually gain a lot of input. There's this theory that when the brain is in relaxed state, there is a quick, grasping of things that has been learned. So we need to relax our brain. So we have this or that, and then we have in the second half of the session, we're going to look at right brain and how right brain, what are the things right brain actually focuses on, and what are the activities that are responsible from through the right brain. Okay, so that's what we're going to see in the second half of the session, and definitely a recap. So where you people are going to be actively participating to let me know how much you have learned through the session, which is very important, the takeaways. And then I'm going to provide you one topic which you can work on implementing all that we are learning so far. Okay, so I'm going to provide you a suggestion, a topic which you can work on and take back home. So, yes, that's how we're going to conclude our session today. So, let's get started with trivia art. Sorry, we have to first go to the code of the session. Sorry, guys. So, very important code of the day, right? Okay, let's read the quote of the day first. There is always time to make right what is wrong. Susan Griffin. Okay, beautiful. So, what this means, there might be situations where we realize things that later, after doing something, we realize that, okay, I shouldn't have done this, or I shouldn't have taken such an action at that point of time, right? So, there is always time to make it right, what has gone wrong. How? By just accepting it, and then, like, realizing our mistakes. That's a big step. That itself is the way to make things right, whatever has gone wrong. Like certain times, like uh, mostly while speaking, I have seen that we say some things and then we realize that, oh, probably I shouldn't have used such words, or I shouldn't have said so, something like that to that person. So the best thing is to realize the mistake, and if needed, ask an apology, and that's it. And that's how we can make things right, what has gone wrong, at least to some extent. If not to perfect sense, but at least to some extent we can make it right, right? So that to always look at it in a very optimistic way is what Susan Griffin kind of encourages us, right? So there's always time to make right what has gone wrong. And similarly, if you have decided to do something and after some time you realize that that is not what you really want to do, okay? So then you can take a break and reflect on what other things inspires you to do. So you can shift your focus, even though if you've started with something and then you realize in between that that's not where your interest lies, you take a break, you change your path, no problem, there's nothing wrong in that. Okay, just because you've started something, it doesn't mean that there are a lot of in my own journey I have realized that I started a particular subject, and then I realized that I'm just not into it. So it's fine to just take a break and reflect on what you really want to do instead of just going on and on with what you've just started with. Okay. So yeah, it's all contextual, guys. So within the context is how we need to make decisions in life. Okay, there's a context, and with the context frame, we need to apply all these things. Okay, so yes, with that we'll move on to our trivia R. So in trivia R, we have the first question: the theory of economic drain of India during British imperialization was propounded by whom? The theory of economic drain of India during British imperialism was propounded by whom? So just to give a little of understanding, like economic drain, it's nothing but there was time like uh, a long time before, even before like mid of 18th century, I would say, like there was a lot of resources and wealth taken from India, basically focused to England. England was taking a lot of resources from India, the wealth and everything, but it was not compensated. Like they were not providing equivalent return to that what they were taking from India. So that's where the economic drain theory came in. And now we are looking at like the question is who actually termed this and who brought in the theory of economic drain. Somewhere between mid 18th century, this theory came into existence. Okay, let's look at the answer. Dadabhai Naroji. So he was the one first who recognized that a lot of resources has been taken from India in form of wealth and spices and so many other terms, and there was no equivalent return that was coming from especially England. So that's when Dadabhai Naroji came up with the theory of economic drain. There's a drain of economy that is wealth from India. So that's when he came up with this theory. Okay. Entomology is the science that studies what? Okay, so entomology is the study of what? Is the science of studying, especially there's a category, what category that is focused on? Sociology, we know it's all about history and things like that, and we have biology, living organisms, and it's everything about living organisms. Biology deals with living organisms. It can be plants, humans, anything. So similarly, entomology is the science that studies which particular section. Okay, let's look at the answer. It's insects, guys. So if someone is really into like complete study of insects alone, then the study of insects is called entomology. Okay. Okay, great. Okay, Garampani Sanctuary is located at which place? Garampani Sanctuary is located at, let's take a guess, at least a random guess. Okay, so Deepu, Assam. It's in Assam. It's called Deep. Okay. Hitler Party, which came into power in 1933, is known as the party's name. What name did he give? The Hitler's Party, which came into power in 1933, is known as what term did he use to name this party? He coined some name, party's name. Okay, it's Nazi Party. So he termed it as, he coined the name Nazi Party. So the Hitler's Party, which came into power in 1933, it was known as Nazi Party. Okay, yes. Okay, some good learnings that we have had in trivia are good, good going. Now we are going to move on to our actual topic of the day, that is how debate is helping us to have a balance between left and right brain usage. Okay, so for that, let's look at what actually left brain and right brain deals with. Okay, so there we have just listed down some of the things that we learn while actually learning debate skills, right? So the importance of debate, we had listed so many things: communication, creativity, curiosity, leadership skills, control, concentration, critical thinking aspects, self esteem, confidence, right? So if you see this list, you will see that it's a balance between actually the left brain and the right brain usage. Okay. Now we will just see what are the things which fall under left brain and what aspects of this fall under right brain. Okay. So definitely you will see that all these things we are convinced that all these things are improved while learning debate skills, right? So we'll just see what things fall under left brain and right brain usage. Now, just as a raw definition, if we go by the left side of the brain, it always deals with the critical thinking aspect, while the right side deals with the creative thinking aspect. Okay, so our left brain is towards critical thinking, and the right brain it deals with our creative thinking. Okay, that's the main difference or main way of defining what scientifically it has been proven. Okay, so, going into details like what critical thinking means and what are the other aspects the left brain deals with. The first one, definitely, it is critical thinking. So, what does critical thinking mean? There is in critical thinking side, there is reasoning and logic. You use reasonings and logic. So, wherever you are giving reasons, you know that it's coming from your left brain. If you're reasoning out something, right, then it is coming from left brain. If you're using some logic to understand a particular process, then you know it is coming from the left brain. Okay. So then there is verbal cues. Verbal cues is also a part of your left brain working. Systematic planning, ideation, recognizing facts. So all these falls under our critical thinking side, that is our left side of the brain. Now let's quickly see each one, like what reasoning and logic means, what happens in that phase. So reason is in the power of the mind to think, understand, and form judgments logically, right? So reasoning is the power of the mind to think, understand, and form judgments logically. So definitely, if you are going to kind of in debate, right? In debate, what are you doing? You're reasoning out your statement. That means you are actually trying to think about that statement first, understand it, and then form judgments logically. It has to be connected, it has to have a logic when you're presenting your reasons, right? So that the left brain. So left brain is working when you're providing reasons for your statement, why you stand for a topic or against topic. When you're stating reasons, your left brain is in action. Okay. The next one, verbal cues. Our left brain is also actually responsible for verbal cues. Now, what verbal cues means is a verbal cue is a prompt that is conveyed in spoken language from one person to another or group of people. Okay, so verbal cues it's nothing but our communication skills, like the listening, speaking, writing, reading, all these things, right? So all these sections fall under our verbal cues. So that is also actually handled by our left brain. Okay, so verbal cues, and you use a lot of. We did one like a detailed study on communication itself, like how debate helps us to improve our communication, and that is coming from our left brain. So you're training the left brain better to convey things better. Okay, the verbal cues fall under our left brain. Systematic planning. What systematic planning means? The planning is the process of thinking about the activities required to achieve a desired goal, right? So again, so if you want to reach, if your goal is set, right, the purpose that we described, the purpose with which you work, and in debate, you recognize the purpose is to pursue it, and then you make a systematic plan. So the plan is what the every process that you go through while getting the final format for debate. So you go to the topic, then you do research, you find a lot of articles, you underline them, then you form some of the uh, you know uh, um, fillers. You also plan for some fillers, as I told you. If you don't remember some important points, you can have some fillers filling in. So this all comes in planning. So what is the first statement that you're going to say? What is the strong point? What's the weak point? What are the activities that require every into planning stage. So planning is the process of thinking about the activities required to achieve a desired goal. So there is a systematic planning that is happening in your debate as well. So that again, the systematic planning happens. This process happens what in our left brain. Okay. Now, next one is ideation. Ideation is the creative process of generating, developing, and communicating new ideas. Okay, so there can be there can be situations where you have to come up with your own new ideas and also state it as your opinion. So debate also can be like, you can state your opinion sometimes here, and but you have to state it very clearly that in the end, probably when you're concluding, you can just give your point of view finally, and you can provide your idea of dealing with a particular situation or problem that is there under discussion, right? So ideation is the creative process of generating, developing, and communicating new ideas. So that is also taken care in debate process. Recognizing facts, a thing that is known or proved to be true. Facts are widely used when it comes to debating. Yes. So reasoning facts, there is there's a lot of emphasis on this, right? So whenever you are doing debate, you know that facts are very important. So evidences are very important. The statistics that is available, all these things you are taking note of. So there is a left brain working. So the left brain is working to gather all these facts. Okay, and that is again towards your left brain. So there is all these things which is uh, which which is happening in our left brain, and all these things are employed in our debate. Okay, so quickly running through again the main points, what are the things that left brain is responsible for, and in respect to debate. So the left in the left side we do critical thinking, reasoning and logic, reasonings, and then logic use. Then we have verbal cues. Then we said about systematic planning that happens, and then ideation that is occurring, and recognizing the facts. So these are all the things that we have touched upon in left side of the brain. What all things happen, and in debate, all these things are attributed to our left brain working. Okay, so yeah, so with that, we will move on to our this or that section before we move on to understanding the right brain working. So, right brain, we have a lot of other things that it attributes. So, we will go into that section in a while. So, before that, let's okay. The first question in this or that is: would you rather win the MVP award or a team championship award? Would you rather win the MVP award or a team championship award when it comes to sports? Okay. What is what would you choose? What kind of award do you want to win, guys? So we did see what MVP means in our last, I think, quiz time. So MVP is nothing but most valuable player, right? So would you like to win a most valuable player award or a team championship award? I would choose MVP. Right. Okay. Moving on. Would you rather coach a college or professional team? Imagine that you are being a coach, and would you rather coach a college or professional team? Would you want to coach a professional team, or would you like to coach a team or coach a college, a team in a college? I would say I would like to rather coach a college team because they have a lot of potential there and it's something that I can bring out from them. So, yes, coaching a college. Next one. Would you rather be a team player or singular star? Okay. Would you rather be a team player or a solo person? Singular star. Because team player, it's just not limited to sports. Team playing is very important, even in life. It's not easy to just do things alone. So we need to know how to be a team player in life as well. So practicing in a sport form, it is nice, and it extrapolates to even life. We need to be a team player in life. Now, we need people around us, right? So, a human being a social animal, um, it's very important to be part of the larger group as well. So, yeah, definitely, I would choose to be a team player, which probably helps me to extrapolate to um, general life as well. How I can be a team player in life. Okay, next one. Would you rather play indoors or outdoor games? What would you choose? Would you like to play indoor or outdoor games? Outdoor, like you have all this basketball, volleyball, cricket, right? All these comes under our outdoors. Indoors will be like chess, carom, all of those. So what would you choose? I would always choose indoors. I would always choose indoors. Not so much of an outdoor person. Games especially. So yeah. Okay, great. Thank you guys. Beautiful. Now we're moving on to our second section in this session. The second part deals with creative thinking. That is our right brain. We said right brain deals with the creative thinking aspect. Now, creative thinking refers to using abilities and soft skills to come up with new solutions to problems. Okay, creative thinking it always refers to using abilities and soft skills to come up with new solutions to a problem, and this happens in which part of the brain? It is the right brain. The right brain is involved. The creative thinking happens in the right brain. Okay. So how that is useful in debate. Let's move on. So, creative thinking will have creativity, imagination, creation, able to see the bigger picture, visualizing things, prosody, and spontaneity in activities. So, all these things fall under the creative thinking section, right? The right brain. The right brain deals with all of these things. Now, one by one, let's define and see what is the relation, like whether we are implementing this in debate or not, right? So, I'm just telling how the balance between left brain and right brain usage in debate, okay? So, if not all of them, but there is a balance that you are using some of the critical thinking, that is left brain uh, aspects, and also you're using some of the right brain aspects. So, creativity is defined as the tendency to generate or recognize ideas, right? Creativity is defined as the tendency to generate or recognize ideas, alternatives, or possibilities that may be useful in solving problems, communicating with others, and entertaining ourselves and others, right? So, creativity is very much essential to keep the team engaged and in debate also. The better it is when you can think creatively. How creatively can you put out a point that you have with you, right? How you can communicate to others your point in a very creative way, in a very creative way, right? So you can actually employ creativity in this, and as I told you, when you use some fillers in between to just show that it is a holistic view. You're not just focused. You're using humor when you're actually coming up with some of the quotes related to your topic. When you're coming up with some of the jokes which is in relation with the topic. All these are creative way of looking at the topic and showing that you are thinking in a holistic manner, right? So creativity is employed. Imagination, which is again the faculty or action of forming new ideas or images or concepts of external objects not present to the senses. Okay, so imagination is like something beyond what you read. You imagine that, what if this, you ask the question, what if? You imagine as if, like, can, can it be possible? Is it possible that we look at the situation in a different angle, in a different perspective? Can it be possible that this has a different kind of solution that we can come up with, right? So imagination is that. But in debate, it is a little restricted. We don't go into the imagination part because more we are focused on facts. But nevertheless, we're just looking at some of the aspects which debate uses from creative side. So creation is the change process in which clients construct the meaning of emotionally charged experiences by putting them into words. Now, this is something that you again use in debate. Creation is nothing but when you use your personal experience, like if there is a topic um, about the effect of the effect of pollution on climate, so you can bring your experience also and put it them into words, and that can also be a way of saying that this is the reason that why I am against this topic or for the topic based on your experience. You bringing your experience, emotionally charged experience, by putting them into words, so that is creation. So this also is employed in debate. Sometimes you bring your experiences and put it into words. If not your experience, you're also bringing other people's experiences and you're giving evidences. So this is the experience of this large city who is experiencing problem with breathing because of this whole lot of pollution, and that is how it is affecting climate change, right? So that way you are employing the creation, that is you're putting the emotionally charged experiences into words. Okay. Able to see the bigger picture. So, what does it mean? It is the ability to see the bigger picture, which refers to being able to understand the given situation or environment as a whole and not in parts or fragments, right? So, you see that when we say climate change, it's just not limited to one sort of a pollution. It's like in every angle, water pollution or airborne pollutions. All of this combined, you have to look it as a whole picture, and also the lifestyles that we are changing. In a holistic way, we see as a situation and we come up with some points. So we will be able to see the bigger picture when you're using your right brain. And in debate, we do see the bigger picture. So where is it leading? So we talk in terms of where is it leading to. Okay. Okay. Visualization, again, it is a technique for creating images, diagrams, or animation to communicate a message. Creating diagrams helps in systemizing information for a better use of it. Right. So you can employ, like if you are given a choice to use your PPT, then you can use this visualization aspect to show your points in a very creative way in a diagram format or flow chart, whatever your points are. So that is again part of our right brain usage. Prosody, it refers to feature of expressive reading, comprises all of the variables of thinking, uh, timing, phrasing, emphasizing, and intonation that speakers use to help convey aspects of meaning and to make their speech lively. Okay. Now again, prosody, if you see in debate, you need to, like, it's basically talking about the modulations, voice modulations, the expressions, the facial expression, the body language, everything in together, right? So that's prosody in simple words, guys. So in debate, you're taking care of all of these aspects. Spontaneity in activities, it means having a um, tendency to or are known for doing things impulsively and without planning, to be quick in nature. So in debate, it asks you to be spontaneous at times. Like maybe you have planned a lot of things, you have structured your points, but sometimes it is possible that um, the other party in debate kind of questions you something which you're not prepared for. So you have to be on your toes to think spontaneously and come up with some answer to their cross examination. So spontaneity is also very much essential in debate. So that is again coming from our right brain, right section. Okay. So that's how debate is actually employing both left brain and right brain thinking. Okay. The critical side of the thinking and as well as creative side of the thinking. Okay, this summarizes everything that we actually saw so far. So if you see, there is the left versus right brain, which is given here, and it's kind of little very small for us to read. So it's everything that we dealt in points in the previous segment, right? So everything that is mentioned here. So creativity is mentioned here, intuition is mentioned, and expressions, feelings are mentioned in creative side of the brain, the right side of the brain, and the left side of the brain we have logic, reasoning, analysis, timings, okay, math, the numbers, right? So all these things, facts, all these are your critical side of the brain. Okay, so the left side deals with logic, main points, logic in respect to debate. I'm saying the left brain deals with logic, reasoning, analysis, timings, and facts. Right, all these things, and math, that is in terms of your it's, um, systematic, graphs and or pie charts, all those things. Okay, so that is your left brain. Now, right brain, in terms of debate, you use creativity in presenting your topic, your wording, how creatively you're using it, including some of the proverbs, some of the jokes which are in line with the debate topic, how creatively you're presenting your topic. And then you have again arts. So if you have to present it in a unique form in terms of PPT, if you're doing, you can also use art in that. Then you have spontaneity, as I told you. There is spontaneity that is there, that is also coming from the right section of the brain. Then also you have yes, creation. So as I told you, creation is putting back all your experience or some other experiences in words form or in diagram form. So you're creating it. Creation is there, and that is from the right brain. Okay, right brain. Okay. So with that, let's test our knowledge so far. So today it is going to be in terms of right brain and left brain. You got to say me whether this is the function of right brain or left brain. Okay. So reasoning and logic are functions of which side of the brain? Is it the left side of the brain or right side of the brain? We just dealt with left brain and right brain, right? So what are the things left brain focuses on and what are the things right brain focuses on? So reasoning and logic, what did we say? Does it is it the function of the right side of the brain or left side of the brain? Okay, so reasoning and logic comes in the critical thinking aspect, critical side. The critical side is the left brain. Okay, so reasoning and logic are functions of left brain. Okay, so that's left brain. Reasoning and logic is from left brain. Okay, so we have again Shiv Kumar who says ear twisting makes the brain work very fast. Okay, probably maybe true, but unfortunately we are online, so no ear twisting be given here. So yeah, the concept of prosody is a part of which brain? Prosody is nothing but how you use your whole body, like expressions, tone, the whole body, how you're using while presenting your topic. the language part and your expressions part, your body language, everything together. So this is which part of the brain. Prosody is a part of which brain. So we dealt with that, and it is actually the right side of our brain. Okay, so it's the right brain that prosody is dealt with. Okay, so quickly, if you want to recall what that means, let's read through. Prosody refers to feature of expressive reading. Expressive reading, it's just not reading, it's expressive reading, comprises of the variables of timing, phrasing, emphasis, and intonation that speakers use to help convey aspects of meaning and to make their speech lively, right? So that's coming from our right brain. When you look at the holistic way of delivering a subject, that is called prosody, and it deals with right brain. Okay, next question. Being spontaneous is a function of which brain? Being spontaneous is a function of which brain? When you have to be on your tip of the toe, and sometimes which is not planned, which is not like reasoned before, and on the spot you have to kind of come to a conclusion, or you have to make some statements. So on the spot learning is, on the spot coming up with some definitions or answers. That is that is our right brain. So right brain helps us to be spontaneously thinking of things, which is not pre-planned. Okay, planning is on critical side. Planning, reasoning, facts, all this is all in our left brain. Being imaginative is a skill supported by which side of the brain? The last question, guys. Imagination. Being imaginative is a skill supported by which side of the brain? Imagination. Creative and imaginations are of right brain, right? So that's so Shivkumar says left brain. Okay, so imagination is something which is related to our right brain, guys. Okay, so with that, we are closing our session in few minutes. Just before that, we are going to give you a take back home topic. So public schools are better than private schools. It's a debate topic. You can take for or against. You can choose for or against if you stand for this topic or against this topic. That whether schools are better than private schools. The statement is says that public schools are better. Are you standing for this topic, or do you say that no, private schools are better than public schools? Right. So whatever you stand for, you can actually apply in our think, pair, share debate method, which was introduced yesterday. So think first individually, you reflect and you collect all the information individually, and then you pair up with another partner who has thought individually, see whether both of you have similar, like standing for the topic points or standing against top points that you get, and then you share, then you actually share it once you combine your pair with another pair. Okay, there is another pair who is working simultaneously, you combine, and then all of you, four of them, now you together share your points, for and against points. Okay, so think is your individual aspect, pair is when you discussed in group, and share is when both the pairs come together and share your findings and opinions. So that is think, pair, share, debate method, which you can actually try in the topic that I've suggested today. That is, public schools are better than private schools. Whatever is your thought, whether you feel it's right or you don't feel that this is the scenario, you feel that private schools are better, then well and good. You can actually go ahead with that and collect information for that. Okay. So yes, with that, we are going to conclude this session, and I'm going to just give you the follow-up topic, what we can expect in our next session, that is tomorrow at 5 p.m. So we kind of going to look at how there is a synergy between critical and creative thinking in debate. Okay, so right now we saw the balance between the creative thinking and critical thinking, that is left brain and right brain aspect. So tomorrow we're going to go a little detailed into the critical thinking aspects. What actually falls into critical thinking? What are the steps that is associated in critical thinking, and what are the steps that is associated in creative thinking? And in relation with debate, how there is a synergy between critical and creative thinking aspects when you are dealing and learning debate. Okay, so with that, we conclude this session. So, guys, as I tell you, please be safe because there's a lot of floods that is happening. And here in my place, there's continuous rainfall from morning, and it's continuing for another 10 days, is what the news says. So, yeah, just take care of your health, guys. So, wherever you are, just take care of your health. Health comes first, and then comes everything else. So, please take care of your health and be safe. At the same time, don't forget to be awesome, to be yourself, and to be ready to do great things, as you are the future of the world. Okay, so with that, I take a leave, and as usual, take care and see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.